welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the wild landscape of Scotland. And for today's adventure, we're once again joined by the channel DJ, and today we've come out to the wild lands of Ferry Den for a wee adventure here, just exploring a bit of the coast and just seeing what little historical wonders are along the way. And I just love the landscape around here. At the far side we can see Montrose, and then the popular Montrose harbour here, which always has loads of ships going out and in every day. And then we can actually see, don't know how well it comes out on the video, 3 massive ships. They look like they're making their way over towards the harbour now. Yeah, some of the stones here on the coast, folks, look at this thing here. That is just insane. Yeah. So we're just out on basically a wild adventure, folks, so stay tuned, let's see what we get into. It's often just a madness going on a spontaneous adventure, and then you find the coolest, most random things. Look at the size of these tree chunks up here. Check it out, folks, look at this. This is the kind of chunk of wood people make like a table out of or whatever. Just think where that was grown and how long it may have been floating about in the sea. Look, it has had a power saw mark on it at a certain time. Ah, it's been rotted out and then washed into the sea and then drifting about. The recent storms has had really high waves, higher than normal in Scotland, and you can see they've been right up to the line of the bushes at the top of the beach. And then look at this, the fresh water running off the land here, frozen solid, and that gives you an idea of the conditions we're dealing with for today's adventure. Look at this here, it's like an icicle built into the land. I can hear one of these ship engines revving up or roaring. It'd be cool if we see one of them going out, but I think they need to wait till the tide rises. This is super slippy underfoot. Look at this, folks, this is the rare phenomenon here in the winter where it's proper frozen solid on the cliff faces with the fresh water running off the land. Well, I say fresh water, but it's the non-salt water. So it's probably not that fresh if it's come all this distance over the land, but it's crazy to see how it freezes at this time of year. Clings onto the rocks. And the wind's got a real bite to it today as well. Proper winter conditions out here in Scotland. What even is that? Is that some ore out of the rock? That's what it is. Look at that, folks. That's a live find on the video. That's what you get in the rocks. What the... That is just insane, eh? That's one of those things that's formed when the rock's liquid and it's cooling down. Yeah. The rich ores go to a point in the rock like that. It almost looks like a fish or something that's been cut open, like, but it's proper rock, like. Look at that, folks, the little crab claw there on the beach. Check it out. Check this out, folks, this must be an old mooring point here for some of the little fishing boats that used to kick about in this land, and that's cool to see that heritage. And an interesting thing, this old stone pillar here was a guidance mechanism for them back in the day, guiding their boats and vessels up into the harbour mouth here before the days of the Stevenson lighthouse up here, Skirdy Lighthouse. But that is interesting, these old white markers, I'm sure they lined both those pillars up and that brought them safely within the mouth of the harbour. Yeah, there's actually a hole being blasted into this rock down here as well, eh? This is the kind of wild landscapes we love exploring. You can see how high the sea's been here, it's just mad. Recently we've had super high seas. And there's a little shed like outhouse over there, and it's been there for hundreds of years, and I can see that the sea level has actually been over the top of the roof of that little structure, which is quite crazy to see. And then looking down this way now, we can actually see all the way Montrose down towards St Cyrus and on to some of the wild coastal lands we explored probably like a month ago when we went to that bunker which had been covered over by a landslide. That's all up that coast, probably like 25 mile or whatever. Check it out, folks, this is the wee shed that I was theorising was like an old outhouse, but now I'm closer, I'm thinking it's actually an old water tank. It could potentially still be the water supply going to the lighthouse and some of these little buildings. But it's interesting to see that in the recent storms the sea level's actually been higher than this old building, which has been here for a lot of years. There's just been some extreme coastal weather recently, and we can now see the famous Skirdy lighthouse out here. Mind, there was actually a ship ran aground at Skirdy, was there no, back in the 80s, because we saw the anchor for it when we were up at John's Haven, I think it was, on an adventure, or we saw part of that history. Look at this, folks. I always promise you the coolest of scenes on this channel, and just look at that. For an incredible Scottish lighthouse out on this pinnacle of land overlooking the Angus coastline here and all the way up, you could probably see Aberdeenshire for here. And then the landscape that we've navigated to get to this point, it's almost like a picture postcard scene right there. I love the construction of these Stevenson's lighthouses. It's mad to see the wee ladder at the top. It would take some nerve to climb up that ladder to the weather vane. It was restored recently, I think, a few years ago, but I can see already with the mad coastal weather, the paint's actually starting to chip off some of the big blocks. Anyway, we're just keeping this adventure going, folks. We're noticing little nuggets and crazy scenes like this along the way, and we're just looking at some of the interesting stones and some of the wee things that you see in the rock pools and stuff. It's just a mad mixture. Things that's been washed in the coastal seas here of the North Sea, which it sometimes is ferocious. We reckon the tide's actually starting to come in now, and I can see some big waves starting to surge up onto these rocks at the corner. Whoa! Did you see that wave spraying up? What did you say, a fish? There's a little fish down here somewhere, folks. Look at all those snails! Wow! It's funny all the snails are here, but yet look, none there.
Oh no, there's no sea.
Oh, eh? They must go in. Oh, look at them all here! Look! Millions of snails under the water there. Oh, I could put the camera under the water, eh? We could have a look. Wow, this is proper snail valley here. Here, look, did you see the size of that wave? Whoa, it proper... Yeah, the snails try and stay in the wettest part by how it looks. Look at all these barnacles on the rocks here, folks. Yeah, you could get wet there because it sprayed up there 2 seconds ago. Check this out, folks. I just ran up the side here to get a better look at the waves, and look at this massive deep rock pool. Looks like there's actually a brick or a block off a house there. Look at how deep this is. It's like a little hot tub. Here, in the summer, you can come and chill in there, like overlooking the sea. Yeah, could be anything in there. Eels or something, potentially, even. Then there's a smaller rock pool here. Those waves spray in the air from behind us. Check this out, folks. Round this bit, this is a kind of bit of land that I've never really explored much. Here, this is super slippy here. You'll be grippy down at that height. Let's look at some of these rock pools. They're proper interesting looking. Sometimes with the rock pools in Scotland, they're all different characters and they've got different nature. Wow, yeah, this one's so deep. And look, this one's got this shallow little side bit to it with that pink coloured mossy stuff in it. Yeah, look how absolutely deep that is. It's just amazing. This is true wild Scotland at its finest, folks. The wild, rugged nature here, and it's often amazing seeing the wildlife which is within all this land. At this time of year, it's pretty bleak out and about. Oh, aye. Some of those little rock pools can be super deep as well. And then look how clear this one is. You can see right to the bottom. Check out, folks, we're out on this plinth of land, and once again it's just an incredible view there. You can see the silhouette of the lighthouse, and at this side the waves are hurtling and funneling up this little area, spraying in the air. It must be insane if you lived in a place like this to look out over these seas. You would just be mesmerised by the waves at times. Some of my viewers were saying that they actually live so far from the sea. It would take them days to even drive to the coast. So little videos like this is for people like that who can get a chance to see the sea and hear the waves crashing on the land, and then to have a little bit of an adventure along the way. I just love it, folks. And look at this one's so deep for the size of it. You could get totally drowned if you got stuck. If you slid in there with your arms by your sides, you wouldn't get back out. Huh. Wow, this whole area, it's just a crazy geological wonder. You can hardly see the bottom of that one. Check out this, folks. This lobster pot looks like it's down in the rock pool. So we're thinking it's either somebody catching something down in here, or it's maybe been washed in a storm and landed down in this rock pool. Because when the waves are super high, all their creel pots and stuff get blasted all over the place. You quite often see them lying on the coastal beaches and stuff after a storm. We're just basically walking through this unusual piece of land where it's rock pools galore. And sometimes when you see the way the rocks have formed, it looks like it's been poured cement. But really, it's just a natural, this has been like a natural cavity in the land. Check it out, folks. Listen to the noise of those rocks with the waves. This is just like a little secluded kind of little beach area down here with the waves ripping out and in. But I love the noise, the way the pebbles and stuff are rolling with the water and the waves. Check it out, folks. We're down here right at the edge of the wild sea, and look how high these waves are. Oh my goodness! One of the craziest things in life, folks, is going near the sea when it's ferocious, like going this close to it. See how much it drops and then rises. See, when the tide's like this, it could literally blast us standing here. We're not even in that safe an area. We're kind of further around for the lighthouse that we're at a minute ago. And we've come right to we've come to the epicentre of the waves. They're proper building now. Check this out, folks. This is some big waves coming up here into this rock pool right now. We're like standing at the edge. I'm heading further around. Because it's frothy water, you can tell that waves were freshly at this height. Often when the sea drops down to a lower level, you know there's some big waves on their way in. And this looks like an infinity pool in front of me. The way this rock pool is, it just drops over smoothly into the raging sea. And look at that there. That's some crazy like underwater world right there. Wow, Channel DJ's making it over the infinity pool into the wild sea. Look, there's waves coming at this side now. Whoa, this is a monstrous wave coming right now, folks. I love landscapes like this, folks, and like the ferociousness of the sea when it's just you and the water right there in front of you. There's no explaining that. I can actually see there's a speck of water on the lens. Look at this, folks. These waves are just coming up exactly where the Channel DJ just walked across that bit of land. It's actually really grippy down here, and we're staying at a safe level on these rocks here. Here, look at this, how the sea is way up here. But yet, look how far it must be coming in that channel. Whoa, look at it here. Look at that, folks. It's proper flowing out of here ferociously. Is this actually a burn or a stream coming down here then? Because look at it, it's like waterfalls. Oh look, this is what it is. Look how the difference in the height changes when the wave goes out and in. That's what it is. It's a temporary waterfall. Whoa, the waves is just rocking up, flowing around. And I'm on this kind of pinnacle of land right here, folks. This is so cool. Look how close that was there, folks. I just had to go for it. Did you notice? I had to start running. I had a nice little dry route that I could see, and then all of a sudden I could just hear the wave coming behind me. Check it out, folks. We've got this cool little bit of land here, and we're literally just, look at this. These waves are blasting up in the air in front of us, and it's a cool spot to actually see what's going on here. Like, it's amazing to be able to just sit and see nature like that with that much power. The quantity of water flying in the air and the noise of the air, because inside that hole where the water's going, the air must be getting displaced with such force that it makes a loud bang. But literally the waves come in, and then for a wee while they're quite calm, and then all of a sudden, boom. Yeah, here's big ones coming now, folks. I'll switch the camera. Look at that one. Wow. I'll switch the camera back on once it gets insane again. Such a quantity of water there fleeing about. Here we go, here's some biggies, folks. We've come to a new vantage point. Whoa! The thing is, if this wave strikes, we could be literally within the blast zone. Whoa! Look at this. We could be too close here. This is a mad adventure, folks. I'm kind of positioned against this rock. We're just going to ride it out here. In this area, I can only get washed into that shallow rock pool. Yes, folks, I love switching the camera on like that. We were just sitting here chilling, and then I thought I'll switch this back on at the coolest moment, because the waves have now started surging once again, and the amount of water, it's just biblical proportions. Like, the North Sea is so wild, and to see a little spot like this, it's just blowing my mind. Because the wind's blowing away from our direction, it should actually be not too bad for the spray. That's it, folks. We're like reading the land, we're monitoring what the blowhole's doing, and then we've moved closer. Whoa! That is just so cool to see. There's big huge waves, it's so windy. I do apologise for that, folks, but I was just wanting to document the quantity of water that you get in a place like this. Look at that! The different waves can actually go a different direction depending on the flow and the force. Sometimes two waves can combine and they go a mental direction. They completely soak you. That's just amazing to see. The force of nature. Look at the size of this thing. No way. Whoa! This is incredible, folks. You wouldn't believe the scenes today on the adventure. The wind's blowing the sea away from the direction we're at, and we're on this safe level piece, which is actually a wee bit slippy in hindsight. Those were the coolest ones. That's what makes coming to a spot like this worth it. That moment there, when the North Sea is at the same level as your head. Wow, this is absolutely monsters coming in now, folks. Here's a biggie. This is it coming now. Yeah, there's another really big heat coming. We need to watch out, because this heat's got so much quantity. See how high the sea's gotten. This is a madness, folks. These waves are getting bigger and bigger. Whoa! This is so cool, folks. It's like just about touching the sky. That's how it feels. It's incredible when the North Sea is just right there. And then it calms down. Here's a big one coming right now, look. Amazing scenes on the channel once again, folks. That's what makes these adventures worth it. Little things like that, little parts of the country that you hardly see. Something that you wouldn't see on a mainstream show. It's just the way nature can be so ferocious and wild. And if you stood in the wrong place, it would just wipe you out, take you away. But I can tell that the sea's getting higher even since we stood on this rock. So we need to be wary of that, and cautious. Here's another biggie coming. Check it out, folks. Channel DJ just got hit with some of the spray from the wave, and literally I was recording with my mobile phone, and I'll include that footage right now because I don't know if I caught it on camera when the wave hit him, but I was like recording with my phone and the wave was the biggest one we had seen yet. And literally on the video you'll see, here we go folks, this is the clap.
You get wheat? Yeah, look at this scene! Look at this scene! Behind the scenes, folks.
So look at this folks, we're now kind of heading back the secondary route. It's not exactly the same line we came in on, but now we're kind of heading back past the old Skirganes lighthouse. The wind is super strong coming down the way, but you can see the beams of sunlight coming down through the clouds in the distance. Check this out folks, we've just found a seal here at the coast. It looks like a transmission oil seal, or maybe the seal off the top of an old engine. But that's not the sort of seal that you think you're going to see when you go to the coast. Look at this folks, we've got this crevasse in the land here that I'm going to jump over. The waves were rolling in it. But these little things on the rocks here, the barnacles, they make it so grippy if you're stepping around. You're better avoiding the seaweedy areas like this. There's another one of those massive anchor points for the ship. It's probably put into the rock there with the lead. That shows the fishing heritage here on this land. You imagine the wee boat moored here at night, or after the boys been out for a fish. Check it out folks, look at this geological nugget in the lands here with this natural red ore through the rock here. And it is just an incredible landscape we're exploring today. That's all natural green rocks there and purpley coloured, and then this mad redness throughout it. And it is cool to see that like naturally occurring within the land, within this volcanic surface. Check this out folks, it's almost sunset on this wild east coast landscape of Scotland. We've just found this little cave. It's kind of like being washed out for the sea. But look at this, the tide was so far in. We've actually figured out, we thought the tide was coming in earlier when we were at the far edge of the rocks, but we've just figured out it must be going out, because now it's revealed crazy areas like this, washed from the sea. And this is probably like that blowhole that we saw. When the water goes into an area like that, it comes blasting out up in the air, and that's what erodes these areas so extreme, the way the waves crash in. The interesting thing with these rocks, there's just tons of these minerals and stuff within the rock. When it was created, that shows its volcanic creation there. The different minerals like cooling at different temperatures, being collected in the flow of the molten rock as they come down, probably being cooled by the sea or the water. Check this out folks, there's a seal and it's a real one this time. It's no actually it's not a seal out of a gearbox or an engine, there's a real little woolly seal and it's so cool. It's a young one so we're giving it all the space. It looks like it's analysing us through there and seeing what we're doing. How cool is that? It's so cute. Little fluffy seal. I didn't want to scare it though and make it have to move from where it is because it was actually in a nice little sleep. It's maybe been out in that ferocious sea that we saw at the far end of this harbour entrance. Look at it, it's so cool. It's like a little puppy. Look, it's stretching its leg. See, another thing, if they chase you, like they can go quick. They're like a dog and they bite you sometimes. It's such a fluffy, like woolly, flabby almost creature. We didn't see a lot of seals on the channel folks, so it's interesting just to see this one. But look at it, it's just resting its wee head. It's just resting its wee head on the rock, man. Like, that is so cute. It just looks like a teddy or something. Look at its eyes and stuff like that. Oh, it's made a noise. It made a wee noise. I don't even know if you can see it. I didn't really want to go closer and scare it, folks. But there we go. A Scottish seal chilling here on the rock. Look at this, folks. We're trying to get a better shot of it here without scaring it. Look around the other side of it, and it's just chilling. Look at its wee flipper things. It's just relaxing. That's what seals are known for though folks, they just come to rocks and they just chill out. When we were on the Isle of Islay they were a lot bigger than that. This boy just been out for a day's fishing. Look at it folks, it's just stretching itself out of that. It's just kind of relaxing there I would say. It's like it's almost no right, eh? The way its head, it's like it's falling asleep. Hello! I'm not going to go any closer than this is for sure. It's like it's almost needing a fish or something. Yeah, we reckon this seal should be okay folks. It'll be waiting on the parent seal coming back and we're away to go and leave it in peace now I believe, because that's maybe what it is. It's just young, tired, and obviously it's sound that it's just chilling there next to the sea. It's in its natural habitat. We're in its habitat folks, so that's how we're always respectful of nature itself. It's just cool to see up close relaxing there on the rock. The parent seal will just be out here in the water somewhere. So let's head on with this adventure folks. Oh, it's speaking. Bye bye.